Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining me for another video. So in this week's video, I want to talk about one of the biggest tactics that someone who is unhealthy, toxic, or abusive will use on you while you are dating to really hook you in. And this is the stuff that happens probably right before the real abuse actually takes place, because I know so often people will ask, how do I even detect someone who's toxic and unhealthy? And of course there are like many signs, but this is going to be one of the biggies that if you yourself are not healthy, that you won't be able to see. This will be, when we talk about red flags, this is the gray flag. This is the flag that you are not going to see just outright, especially if you are codependent, if you come from that lack, that insecurity, etc. So let's get into this week's video. Now, before we do get started, if you have not subscribed to this channel, don't forget to click on the subscribe button down below and click on post notifications. I make videos every week ranging from a ton of different topics, so you don't want to miss out. So let's get into one of the sneakiest tactics that someone who is toxic will use on you. So the tactic that most abusers will use at some point in the dating process, whether it's the first couple months or even if it's like 6 months to a year, it's definitely in those kind of like early stages of dating. So probably within the first year and a half, depending on how much you actually see the person. The biggest thing that they're going to use on you that you won't be able to spot is isolation. Now, isolation, if you are unhealthy yourself, isolation will seem like healthy infatuation, or it will seem like love. It will seem like this person's really into you. It will give you all of the feelings that you want to feel that will make you feel like you're enough. So if you are dysfunctional, then you're going to confuse isolation with love. You're going to confuse isolation with vulnerability and intimacy. And those are not the same things. Someone that isolates you, in the beginning stages of dating, there's of course that honeymoon phase and we always want to be together and things like that. But anyone who is really healthy was healthy before they got into a relationship. And just because they have met someone and they're smitten by them doesn't mean that the rest of their life goes down the tubes. Now, will you in the honeymoon phase spend more time with your new partner than you were maybe spending time with other people or doing things that you were doing when you were single? Yeah, probably, and that's normal. Where it becomes unhealthy is, like I said, when you confuse the isolation with real love. One of the really big red flags, especially for a narcissistic relationship, is for the relationship to move really fast. Or just for someone to really express early on just how much they're into you or how much they might love you or that you're their soulmate. And you get this intuitive feeling like, that doesn't really make sense. We've only been dating for 3 weeks. But now again, remember, if you're very unhealthy yourself, 3 weeks into a relationship, you're just going to be swept away and think that you have really found the love of your life just because someone is telling you that you are the love of their life. So isolation comes in two different ways. It comes in the beginning of the relationship where someone almost becomes a little obsessed with you and kind of always wants to spend time with you. And again, if you're healthy yourself, you'll kind of spot that and that won't feel right for you because you're healthy and you have this life that you've cultivated on your own and you spent so much time like working on yourself and creating hobbies and having a business or a career or whatever. You have your own self. And when you were really happy before you even got into a relationship, a new relationship is not going to completely shift you off course. You might go for a little detour, you might not spend as much time with your friends, but you're not going to fall too far apart. So that's one part of isolation, is that those early stages of dating, very early stages, where someone either very much confesses they love you, you're the love of their life, you're everything they've ever needed, and it's all verbal. Yeah, you really don't know this person, you really haven't gone through anything with this person, for this person to really decide that you're the woman of their dreams or the man of their dreams. The next way isolation really plays, and this is really where the danger comes in, is kind of like in that like early stages of the relationship, but now we're talking more of that 6 months to a year mark. At that mark, they have met your friends, hopefully met your family, things like that. And as they've gotten to know you, there has been some kind of judgment on, or you have felt some kind of a judgment on who your friends are, family members that you have. And so there were always these comments that might be made in terms of who you typically spend time with. So now the person that you're dating over the course of whatever, a year and a half, now has all of these opinions about the people that you spend time with, about family, about your family. And sometimes they're very overt comments in terms of really what they think and how they feel, the abuser. And sometimes it's a little sneaky and it's a little undermining, and you don't often see the judgment that this new person is giving your life or your friends or your family, but these little comments kind of like just hang around you in terms of what they think and how they feel regarding your family and your friends and the people that are the most closest to you. The reason why these little comments are being made is because they're trying to feed you this ability to see your friends and family in a way that is not good. And they want you to essentially drink the cuckoo juice with them. They want you to believe all of these stories that these people are not good for you, they don't have your best interests at heart, they're not healthy, etc., etc. So you will jump on their ship and think that the people around you are not good for you, or even possibly, the first maybe year and a half, now all of a sudden the person you're dating wants to move somewhere else, or maybe you just started living with this person and now they want you to move somewhere else. And so they're trying to get you away from the people that you surround yourself with, because the people that you surround yourself with know you very well. And so when they see something that they don't like, they're going to try to steer you away from that. And so an abuser is always looking for influences in your life that are going to keep you from giving the abuser what it is that he or she really needs. Remember, someone who's toxic, narcissistic, abusive, etc., is not well and is extremely judgmental. And so they want you to see the flaws in the people that you spend time with so you can jump on their bandwagon and decide that these people are no good for you. Because remember, this abuser looks at your friends and family as a threat. That's a threat to me because they have your best interests at heart and they know you very well, and they're going to see me, the abuser, they're going to expose me. They're going to see me for who I am way before you ever will, because you love me and you trust me. And everyone else on the outside, they don't need to like me, and they're not a part of the abuse. So when they see the abuse, they're going to try to steer you away from it. So the more and more you are with someone who's toxic, who slowly starts to make you feel like you're a problem, that you're not good enough, that there's something wrong with you, that it's not okay for you to think and feel that the way you do. So now we're talking about gaslighting. The more gaslighted you get, the more your self-esteem and self-worth goes down because you are constantly around this person. When this person makes slight comments regarding your friends and family, you're going to really side with this person because you're starting to really put all of who you are in the hands of this person. And now you have actually put this person on a pedestal way above you and have given this person way more power than what they actually deserve. And now here comes the isolation. And here really is where the abuse actually starts, because the more this abuser can get you away from the things that will keep you healthy, the more they can abuse you in whatever way that they abuse. That's why it's so important to work on yourself while you are single. I always tell people being single is a really, really great thing. This is your time to learn about you, to be your best friend, to be connected to you. This is the free opportunity. You're getting free tuition now. You have all the time in the world to do all of this work on yourself, to get yourself to a really great place, not just emotionally and mentally, but also your life. When you think about your life, whether it's like you want more friends or you want to move or you want to start this business, whatever it is that you want for yourself, this point in your life where you're single, you get to really work on yourself and cultivate this life that you actually desire. That way, when you do go out into the world and are looking to date and start meeting people, your standards will be so high because you're not looking for someone to fill you up. When you come from lack and you come from fear and insecurity and all of those things, you are so dependent on being with someone else. And even if you find that person, you will immediately sabotage that relationship because you come from so many different wounds and so much insecurity that you haven't healed within inside of yourself that it has no choice but to show up in your life. And this is how you ruin relationships. Good relationships, but also this is how you get entangled in the bad ones. Because when you haven't worked on yourself, that means that you don't love yourself, you don't think that you're enough, and you're looking for someone else to tell you who you are. And so when you don't think that you're enough, when someone else comes up to you, comes into your life, you automatically put them above you, no matter who they are, where they came from, how much money they have, education, the way they look, it doesn't matter. The way you feel about yourself, if there's such lack, when you meet someone, you're going to be so incredibly thankful that you just met someone that, number one, your standards go out the door and you don't really have any. So you don't really know how you want to be treated or what you expect out of this relationship. And if you do, the lines are kind of blurred. And this person's so high above you that no matter what they think and how they feel, you will always question your own intuition and you'll always side with them because they're above you. They know more than you, they're smarter than you, they're better than you, they're better looking than what you ever thought you could possibly get. Whatever the stories are in you that you have, your own insecurities and things that you don't feel good about yourself with, this person will always have control and power over you. So when isolation happens, it will be a huge red flag to you. It will be a very big flag when someone is making judgmental comments and you hear them, or even when someone's being a little sneaky about it and it's not like a blatant judgmental comment, but it's just something that's a little undermining. You're going to hear that a lot quicker than you would if you had came from all of that insecurity and lack and hadn't worked on yourself. When someone's trying to take you away from friends or family, or they just quite frankly don't like someone, if you know that, yes, there are things about this person that aren't okay, but I choose for them to be in my life, and you as my partner should support that. And if you don't, there's the door. You know what I mean? Like, that is my journey in my life. And unless someone's really hurting me, and even on that level, unfortunately, no one can really ever take you away from anyone. How many girlfriends out there have tried to warn your best friend about some guy that she shouldn't be with? Yes, we all have. So, and you know that you can't force someone to see it. All you need to do is just be supportive and be there. You don't ever want to take someone away from friends and family. You don't ever want to, even when you think of isolation in terms of moving, if you're with someone and you're dating and all of a sudden now they want to move to their hometown and be near their parents and you have no desire to, that doesn't mean that you should move and go with this person. Maybe that's the point in the relationship where the relationship was supposed to end, because now you guys want two different things. And I always say, as long as there's chemistry between two people, and you share the same beliefs and values and you're working on yourself, there's no reason why a relationship can't work. But if you don't want the same things, then it doesn't matter how great of a relationship you do have, you're going to part ways, because if one person conforms, that person might resent you at some point in time. So I always tell people, usually those are times when you're supposed to make decisions that best suit you. And if you're in a marriage, then unfortunately not everyone can just jump ship and go and move wherever they want to go. You have to come together and compromise and really discuss these decisions. But when you're dealing with early stages of dating, it is a complete red flag to number one, be so into someone so quickly that I want to spend all my time with this person. And number two, even when you do go through those phases where you are together a lot, you will still have in the back of your mind, I need to call Sue. I need to get back at the gym. I need to do my thing. I need to be focusing on me. Like, you'll want to get back to bits and pieces of who you are, because you're supposed to, the life you create when you're single, the amazing life that you create and you're happy in your own skin, someone coming in is just supposed to add to that life. They're not supposed to start taking things away and depleting you, because if you were so good to go when you were by yourself, that's not the person for you then. That's just trying to take away, make you feel bad because you want to go to the gym or you want to do this, or you're going to see your friend Sue or Kelly or whatever for dinner on Wednesday night, and now this person's making you feel bad. There's a reason why people isolate, and either it's because of the fears of abandonment or that they don't have their own life, or it has to do with the abuse. One way or another, it's not good for that person or you. But now if you're dealing with an abuser, are they going to be able to see that? Probably not. But you as a healthy person, are you going to be able to see that dysfunction? Yes. Now, of course, once the isolation really begins, if you do get that far, this is where the abuse really starts to play or take place, because now they have you. There's no one to really save you. You're kind of out on that ship in the middle of the ocean by yourself. And this is when the person will do things and say things because now you don't really have that person to kind of lean on in the back, that friend, that family member, etc. Because chances are this abuser has even probably caused a wedge between you and someone. And now you don't even talk to this person anymore. So you're really sitting kind of by yourself. And this is where the cycle really starts. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope you got some really good tips on how to understand why it is so important to work on yourself. That's why I make my courses. That's why I do coaching. If you're interested in any courses, ebook, working with me, etc., I will link it down below. I will also link up here my 9-week course on emotional healing. That is essential, absolutely, for healing your emotional wounds and emotional triggers. And of course, I always go into self-parenting in all of my courses. So I hope you have enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, and I will see you next week. Bye.